5 tips. Today I am here, excited, I've had a coffee, and I am ready to walk you through 5 tips to help slim, tighten, tone, and flatten the core, the belly. We are talking all things waist, all things abs, core, stomach. What else can I say? We are going to be learning a few really important tips that are going to help when it comes to cinching in the waist and flattening the belly. This is something that a lot of women are very interested in, whether we've had babies or we haven't, whether we're going through menopause, whether we're just kickstarting our routine for the new year. I am pumped up to share with you these 5 really important tips because I think they make all the biggest difference in the world. And this past year, I have really been focusing on and dialing in how to help women slim, tighten, and tone the core specifically. So let's go ahead and get into it without further ado. If you see me looking over here, there are 5 tips, so I had to have a couple little notes or else, you know, I'm gonna get all mixed up. So tip number 1 is to aim for consistency throughout the week rather than just doing one long workout. Because I know that some ladies will just do every ab exercise known to man on one day and then not do it again for the rest of the week. And unfortunately, I find that to get the fastest results, it's better to do smaller workouts more frequently throughout the week. So for example, aim for 3 core focus sessions throughout the week that are just 15 minutes long. Now, of course, you have to do it smart. You can't just like lay around and do a couple crunches, do a couple things, and for 15 minutes, but a smart, dialed in routine more frequently throughout the week is gonna help us get those results faster than if we're just doing one long drawn out workout that focuses on our core once a week. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is learn how to do a stomach vacuum. Now, if you've been following me for a few months, you'll know that the stomach vacuum is one of our biggest little secrets that we incorporated into our routine in 2019. And I can tell you that women all over the world from all different walks of life are getting great results by implementing this into their routine. So let me show you how to quickly do it. I am gonna just lift up my shirt a little so you can see better. And I know the comments might be in the way if you're watching this live. Here's one of the easiest ways I find to do the stomach vacuum. Bring your hands onto your thighs and you're kind of pushing on your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Breathe all the air out. Then pull your core up and in. And hold that for just 5 seconds when you're starting. Try doing 3 rounds of 5-second holds of a stomach vacuum. It's best to do this first thing in the morning when you have no food in your belly, because you saw it's pretty intense. Having food in there isn't gonna feel so great. So do it first thing in the morning, or if you forget, make sure that you're doing at least 3 hours after you've eaten so that there isn't a bunch of food in your belly in there. And that stomach vacuum helps us to work the deep muscles of our core as well as the diaphragm and train the body how to get that pulling up and in, which helps us to, again, cinch in the waist. So tip number 2 is your stomach vacuum. Tip number 3, let's get into it, is to work the TVA, which means transverse abdominis, but I'm just gonna say TVA because that's a long word and I don't need to be saying transverse abdominis. So TVA more than your RA, which is rectus abdominis. I know, weird names, right? So the TVA is transverse abdominis, which is the deepest layer of your core. It's the muscles that help us to stand up straight, the muscles that help to really pull in and cinch everything in. The rectus abdominis is your 6-pack muscle. I mean, I don't have a 6-pack, but you know what they look like. When they have those 6-packs right here, that would be the rectus abdominis. So when you're thinking about balancing out your routine, rather than getting a whole bunch of like crunches and just the stuff that works the top layer, we want to balance that out and have more of an equal balance when we're working the deep, deep muscles of our core as well. So think about, rather than doing a whole bunch of crunches, we want to do things like our planks. We want to do things like controlled leg raises, our stomach vacuum, bird dog on all fours, those kind of things. So that is tip number 3 when it comes to flattening and tightening the belly. Tip number 4 now is all about cardio. So you may know that we have a brand new routine that came out this year called the Trim Core Challenge. And the Trim Core Challenge has incorporated all of these tips into it, which is why women are getting such great results. And I do have a link around this video just for you. So go ahead and tap that link, not right now, but at the end of the video so that I can walk you through the full routine and it'll make a lot more sense. But what we do at the end of that routine is a little 4-minute burst of HIIT movements. So that stands for high intensity interval training. Those are things like, it could be as simple as doing some squats. We do a lot of squats and twists because then we're incorporating our core as well while we're doing our HIIT. But we want to do more HIIT rather than LISS. And LISS stands for low intensity steady state cardio. So like going for a jog, for example. That HIIT workout, what it does is it's like a roller coaster for your heart rate. It gets your heart rate up and then back down and then up and then back down. And studies have shown that it's one of the most effective ways to help us burn fat while, and this is the key, maintaining our lean muscle mass. And lean muscle is important for a multitude of reasons. It helps us to age more gracefully. It helps us to boost our metabolism and therefore we're burning more calories at rest. Yes, please, I would like to eat more food and burn those calories right off and make my body like a machine that just burns off the calories that I'm eating. And of course, it shapes our body, right? Lean muscle is great for so many reasons. And if we're just doing that low impact, steady state cardio all the time, unfortunately, studies have shown that that can actually decrease our muscle mass because we can burn off some of that muscle as well. So HIIT movements are great, just like I showed you. So you would say do 20 seconds of a really tough move that gets your heart rate up, and then 10 seconds of like, okay, I'm resting, I'm relaxing, letting my heart rate come down. Then boom, back into another tough movement. And of course, I could walk you through that on the next page when you tap the link at the end of this video, okay? That was number 4. We're flying through these today. Number 5, the final tip I have for you, and I think you might find it a little bit surprising, when it comes to helping to flatten the belly, is to work your back. The reason why we want to work our back, well, I mean, again, there's a ton of reasons, but let's start just dissecting and unpacking it a little bit. So reason number 1, when we work the muscles in our back, we create length and stability within our core. Because our core, of course, is not just here. Our core wraps around. It's like our trunk, right? So it starts at the front, wraps around the sides, and gets into the back as well. What most of us do when we think, I want to work my core, is we just do movements for the front of the body, and we neglect the back of the body, which then can create lower back pain that can create imbalances and injuries. And we don't want none of that. No, thank you. So in my core routine, I'm always sure that we spend a specific amount of time working the back of the body. And what that does is, again, helps to create length, because we want to have a nice long, strong core rather than right here, right? We want to create that length, which is really, really important. But also, it just helps us to improve our posture. And if you think about it, when we think about having a flatter tummy and a strong core, it's a lot about our posture, because if we're slouching forward, that's anybody's core. Even if they have the flattest tummy in the world, it's just not going to look great. But when we stand up tall and we've got that strength and balance within the body, that's when the core looks fabulous, because we've got that length. And you just have the overall appearance of being strong and healthy and fit when we've got that great posture. And it's something we all all need to work on because a lot of us spend too much time typing. I know I've got a bruise on my arm typing on the computer and all of that. So we need to create that length. So those are my 5 tips. I hope you have found them to be incredibly helpful. If you did, please do give this video a like and a share. And of course, now is the time, if you haven't already, tap the special link I've placed for you in the description box. Head on over to the next page and see the full routine that is designed to help us women strengthen, tighten, tone, and flatten our entire core right from home with no equipment whatsoever, no gym membership, none of that. 15 minutes, 3 times a week is all it takes to start seeing wonderful results and noticeable changes within the body. And you'll see down in the comment section, there is hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of women who have noticed amazing results in just a few weeks, which is so incredibly inspiring and motivating. So I'm wishing you an absolutely amazing, amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Big hugs. Bye-bye.